But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
I don't always agree with Donald Trump, but this is something that every American should hear and take seriously. And just for the record, I did exactly what he suggested. I was not happy in America for many different reasons, which I will describe in a second, and I moved. And the funny thing is, I'm an immigrant in the first place. I came to America from Russia, and I lived in America for 30 years, and I loved most of those years. They were amazing, absolutely became my home. I'm a US citizen. I'm really not a citizen of any other country, including Russia, and I had a very happy life. But a couple of years ago, I've decided to call it quits and move to, in my case, Thailand. Now, originally, I moved to sort of get away from American modern women and the dating culture because I have always been in relationships with traditional women, and unfortunately, there are none left in America. So I came to a traditional country with traditional values, with traditional women, to create another traditional relationship. And there are nuances here. For example, if you want to do it here in Thailand, you better speak Thai, for example, and that's what I'm learning. It's obviously not that easy, especially with me pushing 50. It's not the easiest of the language. It's one of the hardest languages to learn, actually. So I can't say that I stay here for women. There are many other countries where dating is actually much simpler than here. I stayed for many other reasons, and let me share them with you. First, and pretty much every foreigner who lives here and decided to make Thailand their home will tell you the same thing. Number one reason that I enjoy and definitely don't miss in America that I enjoy about Thailand is people. Thai people are amazing. I mean, they are respectful and kind and polite, and they make me a better man with every day. Where in America, as a man, you have to be either a pushover or an asshole, because the way how everybody comes at you everywhere, from your job to Chipotle, is in such a way where you either have to take disrespect or consistently fight for the respect. And I got really tired of being an asshole. Here, I am back to being a kind and respectful person as these people kind of made me back into. And that is by far the number one reason, not only for me, but I feel like almost every single expat here. Number two is healthcare. And I know you're probably wondering, wait, is that healthcare? You're in a developing country, Alex. How can it be? Well, actually, not only we have quite a few private hospitals with, Western educated doctors with great equipment and great drugs that are not even available in America. These doctors are not operating under any type of health insurance supervision like they are in America. So when you go to a doctor, not only are you going to get a great doctor in a private hospital, but they're actually going to care about your health and not give a crap about who's actually paying and whether or not their health insurance allows it. So that gives them a great freedom. But what most importantly here is that you can see a doctor, a specialist, within hours. Now, I've had a very similar thing happen to me where I needed to see a heart doctor and do a heart test in America, and then the same thing happened to me here in Thailand. In America, it took me 3 weeks to wait for an appointment with a specialist, and I had one of the best health insurances in California. And then it took another 2 weeks to do the test and get the results. So 5 weeks, I could have died. If this was really a problem, I could have even died. Here, when I suspected there was maybe the same type of a problem, it took me 3 hours to see the specialist and 15 minutes to walk to the room that does the test, and the doctor was right there to tell me the results, so that took another 0 minutes. So the whole thing was done in about 3 hours. And of course, just like everything else, and I'll get to it in a second, this was like 1/5 of the cost that it would be in America. Number three is lack of random violent crime. Now, the crime still exists here. It is much lower, but as far as just walking down the street and getting stabbed and robbed and shot at, those chances are pretty much zero almost everywhere in Thailand, even here in a huge city of Bangkok. And if you're a woman, also, you are very, very safe walking down an empty street at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, none of that can be said in America. As a matter of fact, in the last couple of years in America, ended up getting a gun license and would always carry a gun with me. And I hate guns. I'm not a gun guy. I hate guns and I hated carrying it with me. It's a huge responsibility. It's an extra weight. It's bulky. Many other things. It's expensive on top of that if you do it right. And here, I have not even looked over my shoulder once. Thought there might be danger. Like I'm literally have become that part of my brain become the same as a house cat that just does not see the danger anymore because there is none. And that feels amazing. And not just for me, but for my friends and for the women that I date. I don't have to worry about them, something happening to them when they go shopping in the evening or going home from after seeing me. It is freeing. It is freeing. And to me, it's been always very important. My personal safety and safety of my friends and family. Of course, I have to mention food. Not only food here is delicious and very affordable, but it's also healthy. I can have the same dish, let's say chicken pad thai. I definitely can have it literally anywhere. Across the street here is a great place, by the way. But I've also had it in America many times because I love Thai food, always have. And even though it might even taste the same because a lot of restaurants in America are owned by Thai people and have Thai cooks and Thai wait staff, the ingredients that they use are very, very different. Everything is so post-processed and GMO'd and just literally the food gets raped in America before it gets to you. And what you're eating, what you're putting yourself is just already so unhealthy. Where here, you can pretty much look at almost every ingredient as organic. The food here is almost organic. Now, there are some issues here because the way they have to grow crops with a little bit of pesticides and stuff like that, it's not perfect either. But the food is much healthier, it's sourced much better, it's fresher, and that's why most of these people are skinny, and most of the Americans, not. And to combine the topic of food and healthcare, an average Thai person lives longer than an average American person. And I definitely know for a fact, now that I've lived here for a while, an average Thai person is much happier than an average American person. I guess that's all that it comes down to, right? How long is your life and how good of a quality your life is in terms of how happy you are. And it's not even a competition. And lastly, though this is not a good reason, I think, to move here, but here everything is so affordable. So affordable. I live just as good of a life here as I did in America. As a matter of fact, better. Because I don't even have a car here. Like, to me, driving a car is a chore. It's the worst part of my day. Here, I always hire car service, though public transportation here is also great. And I spend such a fraction of the cost of the living that I spend in America on my luxury apartment with a view, consistently being driven, the amazing food and everything that I enjoy here. So the fact that it is so affordable, and at this point, which I never even considered in America, I can retire. Like, with the money that I have, I can retire, and pretty much anybody who is, I guess, been financially responsible by the age of 50 could as well. So that's why, this place is amazing. And by the way, I love Thailand, but there are many countries where expats who live there would also tell you the same. So please, and I rarely say this, listen to Donald Trump. If you're not happy in America or the Western country that you live in, do consider coming somewhere else. And for those of you single men who specifically want to do that for the sake of finding or at least having a chance to create a traditional family, go to themillionmanproject.com. I've created a very detailed plan on what you need to do to actually accomplish that and change your life.